Hey everybody, it is January 15th, 2026. It is Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. Actually, I said in one of the other videos I'm diabetic and my blood sugar was really off last night. So I ended up staying home, taking a sick day and feeling a little better this afternoon. So I figured, why not do a little video? Better than laying around in bed all day. So this is definitely a Does It Suck? Kiss Sonic Boom. And this really falls into the category for a lot of people. Now, when I do these Does It Suck series, I like to do a lot of background research, if you will, and watch a lot of other YouTube videos. And this one was, I was kind of surprised because I really assumed it would just kind of get slammed everywhere. Because that's, anytime I think of this album, and I never listened to this album. When I think of this album and whatnot, it's always, I watch people talk about this album. It's never good. And I found something that was quite interesting about it, and I'll share that in a second. But I knew this was going to be, I told you I said in the past, I don't really plan these, maybe that sometimes right on the spur of the moment, but I did plan that this would be in my next video. I wanted to do another Does It Suck? And this one definitely falls into that category. So let's show you the actual album. So here is Sonic Boom. Now I also learned a lot about this album because I didn't know that this was a Walmart only release. Here's a Faker. And they not have a picture of what's his name on here? Tommy? No, it is Tommy. Of Eric. Oh, it was Eric behind the CD. Yeah, they put Eric behind the CD. There's the other Faker, the fake cat. Well, the kitten. Let's see, he's the kitten. We'll have the dump and the kitten. Tommy Thayer, please. I mean, if you're gonna do it, although. To say bring back Jesus Christ, don't get old. The guy who played guitar. Oh, wow, this is really getting bad. Now I have to Google. Holy Lord, Bruce Kulick. Guys, it just. I don't remember what I'm doing for 1 second of that. I should say bring back Bruce Kulick, but I don't think, I don't know if that was ever in the cards, and I don't think he would wear the makeup anyway. He said multiple times in the past he wouldn't. So we'll talk a little bit about this album though, but I do have something else to show you before we go forward. I took it out of its packaging, but I did keep this. Come on. So this is the blue version. Yeah, I do have the album. And this is expensive. And got the gatefold. The fake signatures, those are not real signatures. This is the blue vinyl, and there's also a poster. Now there's also a lot of bootlegs of this. And I had to be very careful. I got this about a year ago on eBay, and I was not going to pay. This thing's going for like $400 or $500, something insane. There was no way. Not for Kiss, not something that's not signed. Absolutely not. It did pop up, and again, I don't mind telling people this. I don't mind telling you guys what I pay for stuff, just so if you want to buy it, you have an idea. You have a point of reference, because I go in blind on this. I don't know if I'm breaking a YouTube code. I really don't care. Because a lot of people on YouTube, and I'll show you the album in a second, won't say, "Oh, I paid for that. I paid this. It was $220." And when I saw that, first off, a lot of red flags went up, and the guy had a lot of pictures, but it was sealed. So I was like, "Oh God!" And he, in the description, right in the description, he said, and I think it was from Australia. No, it was overseas. Maybe it was Europe. This is not a bootleg. This is the original one from Kiss Online, because the album was only released on Kiss Online. And I knew I had to act fast, because if this was real, it was going to go. So I did. I bought it on faith. I do believe I have an original copy, and The other reason why I believe I have an original copy is when I was doing my, I did as much research. This was fast, guys. Doing this. This all took place in like 25, 30 minutes. This was happening, but I did in doing the research for this album. I did watch the record. I'm going to give the guy the credit. The Record Spinner is his channel. I did watch him, and he kind of gave some ideas as far as what to look for on this. And he said the first thing was the spine and the Kiss logo and whatnot. Now, guys, I understand all this can be faked. All this can be total BS. I don't know if that's going to come in clear or not. But it does have the number, Kiss Records 200902. Here's the back. Now this sucks because there's a rip right here. I don't know when, if that, I don't even remember if it came like that or whatnot. Again, it was sealed because that sticker was on there. Again, here's the half real, half fake Kiss lyric sheet. And then this is the blue vinyl. And I think the blue one is the most predominant one out there. Although there was no, I got to take that. I don't know. I seem to see blue. Here, I'll show you that thing a little bit more if you want. I seem to see blue on eBay more than anything else. But I guess it was 1,000. When they did this, they said 1,000 copies each. So, yeah, but that sucks, man. That really pisses me off. And then this too, and I know it was when I was on my collection. There's a little rip right there too. What are you gonna do, man? I have no intention of selling. I know some people are like, why'd you open it? Why'd you open it? Well, because it's mine. So I'm gonna open it. I have no intention of selling. If my kids want to sell it, they can sell it after I'm in the grave. But and I'm not even going to try to show it. There's a number etched in with, I think it starts with 7, that he was talking about. That's in that album and whatnot. So it looks legitimate to me. The sticker is the right size and everything. So if it's a bootleg, it's a pretty good bootleg. You can get bootlegs for like $35, and they look pretty decent quality. And in fact, that's what he said he had up until this point was the bootlegs. And then he got a green one, I think. But I'm trying to see here. See, now here's somebody that's... I'm on eBay. I'm actually hopping on $86 US. This guy's in Australia. But he's saying... This guy is at least saying that it's a 2023 album and not a one from 2010 from the... Come on. I'm trying to see let's see what else was there. Now, one of the things that the guy I was talking about said that he saw, and I saw this too, and this was about a year ago, somebody was selling all 5 of them. I think there were 5 different for like $2,000 or $3,000 that did sell. So, okay, here's another blue one for $600. Sonic Boom open, not... Somebody's trying to sell the black one that's open for $350, and then that's it. When I bought this thing, there were a bunch of them. There were like 10. So, I'm assuming they sold, or either they... But I'm curious to see whether or not the prices dropped, because here's why I asked. So, when I Googled price... in research for this video, AI was pulling up that they were selling on eBay for about between 150 and like 200, 250. I'm wondering if the ones that I saw that were all like 5, 6, 7, 800, insane, kind of like the Ozzy Osmosis albums. I wonder if people just knocked, if they're sitting there for a year, are they actually, is somebody finally saying, okay, I'll buy this for $500? Because like I said, when I saw this for $220, that was before shipping. I was like, oh my God, all right, am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? I'm looking at, and again, all he had was the pictures of it sealed. And he had this was an original 2010 from Kiss Army. So I pulled the trigger, and I hope I'm lucky. I hope that was the right, it's not a bootleg, but what are you going to do at this point? But so the albums only came out, and they were $39 or whatever, $29, whatever, on Kiss Online. I guess they sold out within a month or so. So I wish I would have known. I would have gone back and bought 5 of each copy, but live and learn. But it is what it is. So it's a rare album, and I guess the other thing, like, there's not a barcode. And again, the guy explained it was that because this is straight through Kiss's record company, there is no barcode because it was through Kiss Online. It was kind of like it's the gift from the band, so that you paid for, but so there were no barcodes on this thing. There is the product number, but there is no barcode. So it's a really, really kind of interesting piece of music and definitely Kiss history. Is it a good album? Does it suck? Well, I never put it in high standards. I'm just right off the bat. Listened to it yesterday morning at work, and then I listened to it again today in preparation for this video. I was planning even yesterday before I knew I was calling in sick. I was planning on doing this video today, but I'm just doing it earlier in the day than I thought I would. I don't dislike it as much as I remember because I never listened to this album. Never, ever, ever listened to this album. And also another thing that the CD did is they re-recorded, the classics, Shout It Out Loud, Hotter Than Hell, Deuce, Christine 16. All these with the two fakers. Did they put Beth on here? I want to know if they did. Did they? I did not listen to the second one. No, they didn't do Beth. I have not, and I will not listen to that garbage. I will not listen to that, the sellout version of Kiss. So that's that. I couldn't even tell you what that sounds like, as I refuse to listen to it. But I did listen to this album, and this was kind of, for me, I'm not going to go through the whole history. If you're watching this video, you know the history of how all this came about. But this was a big punch in the face to a lot of Kiss fans because we had the reunion, which the tour was great. I did not see the tour. I regret it monumentally. But then we got Psycho Circus, which we were lied to that it was going to be the original band, and of course it was. It ended up being basically unmasked with who was and wasn't on the album. Then we get Sonic Boom with, and again, if you're kind of a Kiss purist, as far as the makeup version is concerned, and I am, you got Gene, Paul, and two fakers. So I'm already going in there with two strikes, thinking of this album. I know I listened to it when it first came out. I did buy it. Before I sold my CD collection. Then when I bought I bought the CD again on eBay, and it did come in a Walmart. I never thought much of it. It was like, oh, whoever originally bought it from Walmart. It did come in Walmart wrapping. I did not know that this was a Walmart exclusive. Probably a dumb decision on their part, but whatever. I know I didn't like it out of the box. So, all right, let's go through this. Let's see. Does this album suck? Right off the bat, Modern Day Delilah, the single, I never liked that one. Was never, ever, ever a fan of Modern Day Delilah. It's got a good riff. It's a 2. It's not absolutely horrendous, but no, it's not good at all. Next one is Russian Roulette. Oh, and that's a Paul song. Next one's a Gene song, Russian Roulette. The chorus is really good. The rest of the song is iffy, but it's a 3. It's definitely better than the Modern Day Delilah. The 3 is what gives it is because of the chorus. We go back to Never Enough, which is a Paul song. It's a 2. Next one is a Gene song. It's Yes, I Know Nobody's Perfect, and that is a 2 as well. Next one is Stand. That's a Paul song. That's a 3. Hot and Cold is a Gene song. I wrote down typical Gene. Oh, for number 4, for Nobody's Perfect, I put it as a throwaway track. For Hot and Cold, which is a Gene song, I just put typical Gene. Sex, same old Gene. 7 is Eric singing. Got a raspy voice. Here's the interesting one for number 7, which is All for the Glory. That's a 5. I love that song. That song was awesome. I don't remember that song at all. The first hearing of it was great, and then I heard it again. I was like, yeah, this is absolutely a 5. Eric sounds great on it. I love that song. Number 8 is Paul's song, Danger. Oh, yeah. Danger US, and it's a play on being dangerous. Yeah. Dangerous to put on the album. It sucks. It was a 1. The next one is I'm an Animal. Hard riff. It's a Gene song. Typical, again, Gene. It's a 1. It sucks. Tommy Faker, When Lightning Strikes, is a 1. Sucks. He sucks. He can't play the guitar. He can't sing. Can't write music. Everything about him. Last one is Say Yeah, and I do like that one. I used to not like that as much. That's the other 5. Average them up, and it's a 2.3, and it's a 2. Yeah, it sucks. This album, I'm surprised. Really, the power of 2 songs. It averages out to be a 2. Power of 2 songs are what save this album. It sucks. But, no, this one absolutely, it is a throwaway. I never liked the idea of the two fake Kiss guys being, especially more now since we lost Ace. No, I can't stand it. I don't like it. I only got the album because I had every other Kiss album, studio album, not, I don't go crazy for the live stuff like I do for the studio albums, but I did want to get it. I don't know if this will ever be. Well, somebody just bought their whole catalog, so I guess it will be re-released at some point. And you can tell, and this is what they advertise. It's the best thing. It's like Love Gun and Rock and Roll Over. In fact, the guy that did the Rock and Roll Over cover did this. It's very retrospective of Rock and Roll Over, actually. Blasphemy is what I call it. But yes, they prompted this, and then Monster was supposed to be like Destroyer and Love Gun, and no, absolutely not, absolutely not. I'll get to Monster at some point in the near future. This album does suck. It is not an album. I'll listen to those 2 songs, maybe here and there, but it is not an album I will ever really put on. I will put this one back in my protective pouch, and with its little blue sticker. And it will probably stay there for God knows how many years upon years upon years. But here's what I found was interesting. As I'm watching people's videos, there was a very sharp contrast. People who were reviewing this album on its own, just this album, gave it much higher standards, much higher acclaim than people who were doing a ranking of all Kiss albums. Now, when you go to the Kiss albums, I love Crazy Nights. I don't care what you guys say. I love Crazy Nights. Crazy Nights, Hot in the Shade, and I really like Hot in the Shade. My complaint is the same as everybody else's. It's too long, and here's where everyone differs. What songs should have been taken off? That's where, the arguments start. But those are always kind of at the bottom. But this one, too, is at the bottom. Whether it's I saw a couple where it's totally at the bottom. It's the last one. And then it creeps its way up to a few. But my point is, it seems like the people that took the time to review this album did it out of love, whereas the people who will probably never review this album that just talked about it in a Kiss ranking, like, yeah, because it's a Kiss album, so I gotta put, I have to count it. And that's kind of, where I stand. That's why I was like, does this suck? So I'm sure this album obviously has its fans. I'm not one of them. I don't like fake Peter. I don't like fake Ace. I give Eric a little bit more leeway because he actually was legitimately in the band and he is a real good guy in person. And I will, all cards on the table, anything I've ever heard about Tommy. Tommy's supposed to be a really nice guy too. He's not supposed to be an arrogant prick or anything like that. He really is supposed to be a nice person, but no, absolutely not. You hear the story. He was the tech and whatnot, and you knew he was kind of waiting in the wings. He was just waiting for something to go wrong with Ace, and his weaselness paid off. So, all right, tell me what you guys think. Do you like this one? Do you not? Is it okay? What is your 2 cents on Sonic Boom? Like, subscribe, and I will see you.